Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel today. I have a haul for you today, and I feel like I need to justify it by saying that it's like a mini haul, because it's not like 5,000 products, which is what a haul to me implies. Like, I didn't have to haul these things, I just had to pick up the tiny little bags and kind of move on my way. But my deal is I can't buy a lot of things all at one time. Even if I wind up ultimately spending the same amount of money, my brain does not like putting out a lot of money at one time. So basically, I just do it in smaller increments. And so I have a collection of products both from online and from in-store purchases from a variety of stores, Ulta, Sephora, CVS, and a couple other places that aren't coming to my brain right now, but I will link down below all of the products and where I purchased them so that you can buy little things that will still add up to the same amount of money at the end of the day if you ultimately wind up getting all of it. But my brain just likes that, so we're gonna go with that. So this is gonna be a mini haul with tiny reviews because I have used a lot of these products. So I've got some first impressions on them as well, and I will be happy to share those with you also. So if you'd like to see what I purchased for my mini haul, which is not a lot, even though it kind of is, and my brain would like to say that it's not a lot. If you'd like to see what I got, then let's get started. I'm gonna start with IT Cosmetics. I have been a longtime fan of their brushes. I love their brushes, especially the Velvet Luxe line, which is the all black brush. It's got black bristles and a black handle. When I first met them in the store, I could not stop petting the displays. Oh my goodness, the brushes literally are like velvet. And so I decided to purchase some of the products that I heard some really good things about. The first thing I got was the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty eyeshadow palette. She's got two. This was the first one that she released. The second one looks a little bit it looks like pastels to me, so I went with this one, which was a little bit warmer. It's got a nice variety of shades and tones of shades, so some lights to some darks, a lot of browns and warms, but also some purples and grays, and a black. They are all matte, but there is this one shade called Transforming Pearl, which apparently is supposed to allow you to shimmer out any of the matte shadows. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but that sounds intriguing to me. Couple of the shining stars are this dark purple called Iconic, and there's also an awesome looking kind of blue-gray called Midnight. These shadows are way pigmented. I don't know why I had a low expectation about them, actually. I was not expecting them to be as pigmented as they are. The products for this company typically are, I don't want to say that they're natural, but they're supposed to be skin friendly. And my impression of that means that they're not going to be very strong because they're going to be so gentle. The pigments in this shadow palette are not gentle at all. They are crazy pigmented, and I really, really like that. I have to be careful with these two fingers now because it's gonna go someplace I don't plan for it to go. I also picked up the Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. Lots of people talking about this being really, really cool. It does what it says. I've got really dark under eye circles, and this really does. I have used it a couple of times. It really is very strong and concentrated. I'm kind of not used to the formula, and so I have a funny feeling once I play with it a little bit more, I'm just going to all over like it. I think the coverage is great. The formula itself seems to be a little, I almost want to say oily, like it's like a creamy oily. Which that's not good or bad. It's just a little bit different than, for example, my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, which is what I typically use all the time. And so I'm still playing with it, but initially really does cover your under eye circles, and I'm looking forward to trying to figure it out. I also picked up some NYX products, which I was actually really excited about because I always had trouble finding them in store. NYX came out with pressed finishing powders, and I got two of the three. The third one is a green tint for redness, which I don't actually have a problem with, which is crazy because I tend to have a lot of issues with my skin, and the fact that I don't need a redness corrector, that's like a score right there. So I got the translucent one, which looks white, and it pretty much is that. It's kind of this, it looks really white, but when you put it on, it's translucent or transparent. Translucent is what they call it. You know, Makeup Forever, for example, sells a similar pressed, looks white, translucent setting powder or finishing powder. I'm not saying one is a dupe of the other, but there are other higher ends or higher name brands on the market for much more money. So I'm so curious to see how this will work out. I'm also excited about the banana shade, which obviously implies that it's yellow, which I'm really hoping will make it, if I can get it open, a really great under eye setting powder as well. And so they are very translucent and very sheer. But then again, like I said, this one has like a yellow tint to it. I can never find them in store, so I had to go to Ulta.com. I have used both of them already, and so far my initial results are very promising. And so I'm looking forward to trying them out a little bit more. Also from NYX, I picked up some of their lip liners, and I basically went for kind of all of the nude, the whole nude department. I got nude and natural and sand beige and a pink one whose name escapes me. Nude pink is what the pink one is called. I love the nude shade, which is a very like beige pink, and I think it works great kind of with all lip colors. You know, it's kind of like your staple lip color. I love that it's a retractable pencil. So I picked up the natural as well, and it keeps crumbling. No matter how gently I apply, little nubbins of the end of the lip liner kind of keep coming off. And so I kind of feel like, depending on the shade, that these lip liners are a little bit hit and miss. So they weren't that expensive, but I kind of don't need blobs of lip liner on my lips because that's not attractive in any way. The last thing that I got from NYX was what they're calling the Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick. So it's another one of those liquid lipsticks. Less money than designer brands. Same idea. It's got the Joe Foot applicator. And for the most part, I really enjoy liquid lipsticks. I mean, they do tend to dry your lips out, but if you know that going in, you can take the extra precautions. This one is called Soft Spoken. It's kind of like a mauvey brown. I tried it on twice, and it's creamy. It's not quite as mattifying and as drying as some of the other longer wearing ones are. So this one is definitely a little bit more lip friendly with that additional kind of staying power that you get from kind of a liquid lipstick. So it's kind of one of those like in between liquid lipsticks. I picked up a couple other lipsticks. I went for the MAC retro matte liquid lipstick that they came out. First of all, can we just talk about the packaging? You know, they're bullets, they're normal bullets, they're the black casing. Well, they put that as the handle on the liquid lipstick container, and I think that's genius. That might have been obvious for them to do that, but the packaging alone just makes me so excited. So I picked up the color Lady Be Good, a nude, big surprise. Same idea, Joe Foot applicator, just a real pinky kind of, you know, pinky nude beige, but more pink than beige. This is a really comfortable formula. It is dry, and actually it is what I'm wearing today now that I think about it. It is one of the drier formulas, but not the driest. So it does not suck all of the moisture out of your lips, but it does set enough, and in order to do that, it has to be a little dry. It does set enough that I have found tremendous staying power with it. So I topped it with Nars Chelsea Girls lip gloss because it needed a little bit of moisture, but that guy's still staying on there, and I've had this on for quite a while. So plus the packaging, I'm not really a sucker for packaging, but this one got me. From L'Oreal, I picked up a couple of their new releases. I got the Infallible Pro Matte Lip Glosses. I know, right? That sounds ironic. What the heck is a Pro Matte Lip Gloss? I've actually got two. I have another one on order. I got, again, the nude shades. How many do you need? I got 314, which is Nude Allude, which is this container. This is a lie, because this is like a berry pink. This is not nude. I don't understand that. I also got 316, which is Statement Nude, which is kind of a brownie nude. It's like brown with a dash of rose in it, sort of a nude. The other one I have coming is Bare Essentials or Bare Necessities. I don't have it yet, but so I'm hoping that one is actually a nude, because these all are saying they're nude and they're kind of lying. Formula is really, really comfortable. It's a little bit similar to the Liquid Suede cream lipstick from NYX, so it's less of the, even though it's a gloss, it is not glossy, but it is not so dry that it completely mattes out flat. And so that's what makes it really comfortable to wear. Of course, I've only worn them a couple of times, but I did not make a face when I put them on and go, bleh, I don't like this. I didn't do that. I like these. Also from L'Oreal, I picked up some of their new individual shadows. They come in little containers that look like this, little black containers. They're not indicating that they've got a very fancy name, and they didn't come in different packaging. So I'm just gonna say that they're the Color Riche eyeshadow singles. These are interesting though, because this color here is my favorite. It's called Sunset Seine, S-E-I-N-E. What the heck does that mean? Anyway, it's kind of like a peachy gold. It's just gorgeous. It's perfect for me all over lid color, especially if I darken out my outer corner. I love using this color and shade on my lid. They're soft. They're like a gel powder. Not quite as bouncy as the ColourPop shadows. It makes me think of the Maybelline bouncy blushes or something that they had, that they still have, but came out quite a while ago. So it's a very creamy shadow, very, very creamy. You can still apply it with a brush, but you can also apply it with your fingertips based on the consistency. So I got that Sunset Seine. I got this gorgeous purple one called Violet Beauty. According to the spelling, it should be Violet Beaute. And then my last one is called Mademoiselle Pink, which is kind of a champagne-y sort of pink shade. And they're just really easy to work with, very affordable, and fun, because shouldn't makeup be fun? They're fun. They're so much fun. Couple other things. I caved, and by Baca, I purchased one of their blushes. I got the mineral blushes. I got the shade Wild Honey, which I'm almost positive came from Jaclyn Hill. It's like a peachy brown. Go with any eye look or lip color because it's so neutral. But what's really great about this shade is that it's a warm shade, whereas some other neutral blushes are on the cooler side because they tend to be like a pink mauve or just kind of pink based. This one would be like orange or brown based, which makes it warmer, but it's such a neutral shade that it literally does kind of go with any eye look or lip color that you like. So it's one of those, going on a trip, pack this blush and you'll be good to go. Formula is great, similar to their highlighters, their pressed highlighters, but not crazy pigmented so that you wind up over blushing yourself, because then you've got to try to undo it and that's always a mess. I mean, I appreciate pigmented powders, but I don't think blush should be something that's so pigmented that it makes it so hard to work with. And so, yeah, unfortunately, at its high price, I'm liking the Baca Mineral blushes. Sephora is offering a Smashbox kit or collection, $86 value, only $42. It looks like this. It's called the LA Glow Prime, Bronze, and Highlight, and it comes with a couple of products that I was all interested in individually. It comes with the Photo Finish Primer Water. I have not tried this yet, but I have heard really good things about it as a primer water, and I have no idea how to use it, so I'm still looking into that, but this is an opportunity for me to try it. It comes with a gorgeous neutral pink blush, as well as a contour, I think it's a contour stick. Okay, I had to open up the packaging because I wasn't sure what the stick was that's in it, which is giving me trouble coming out. It's actually a lip and cheek color kind of combo thing. So it's a twist up, so it's a non-sharpen, and it's very creamy, very smooth, just kind of like a neutral peach. The thing I was most excited about, in addition to the primer water, was the bronzer that came with it. This is the Bronze Light in Warm Matte. Now, they used to sell their bronzers in that kind of clear plastic packaging. I've heard that these are supposed to be the same thing, but in fact, the formula has been reformulated. Oh my God, is that where that comes from? The formula has been reformulated. I have only used this a little bit, but the original plastic clear packaging bronzers got tremendously really good reviews, and so I never got my hands on those, and you can't get them anymore. So I wanted to give this a shot. And for $42, I think individually this is only, I mean, this is like $30. So the gift set, or the set alone at only $42, you get the primer water. Did I mention you get a blush as well? It's kind of just a neutral pink kind of like a pinky mauve sort of shade. So anyway, big old value. I couldn't resist. 42 bucks when just the bronzer alone is about 30 or maybe 28. And so, really good collection by Smashbox. So I'm venturing into the Lavanilla line, and I got the, what I believe is the original Pure Vanilla Healthy Body Butter. Many people talk about the scent of this line, and I think you'll either love it or hate it. It is very strong. This scent, she lingers. So after I had applied it to my hands, which I think lotion in and of itself or a body butter, it blends in very nicely, doesn't feel too greasy, but you feel like you're getting moisturized. I washed my hands like 2 or 3 times, and you could still get a hint of the scent coming off of my hands. That impresses me alone, because most moisturizers will not do that. But I think you will either love it or hate it. It is very strong. It's like vanilla plus. There's definitely vanilla, but I couldn't even describe to you what else is in it. The Lavanilla line body butters also come in other flavors. I know there's a coconut, there might be a grapefruit, a lavender. And like I said though, if you're around someone who's like sensitive to scents or smells or is very particular, you might get some kickback if you're wearing this, because this, like I said, is really, really potent. The last product that I purchased has a really quick backstory. It's the Nars Laguna bronzer. Now, originally I had, not the trial size, but this was the duo. This is Laguna. This was the duo that came with the Orgasm blush in one compact. And which is great. I got to be able to try it, was using Orgasm as well, and okay, great. Well, over time, I have decided that as a all-over bronzer brush, I'm loving this IT Cosmetics brush. I forget what it's called, but I will link it down below. But this brush is like huge. Like, it covers like most of your face. I would never have thought that this brush would be a good all-over bronzing brush, but there's just something about it. It's got a slight dome to it. And so you're actually not applying powder with the entire bristle head of the brush. If you apply with a very light pressure, you're only getting that kind of top dome that you can see right there. So as such, it winds up not giving you a line. There is not a line of bronzer that will show up on your face anywhere. So just kind of a high on the cheekbones. You could put it on your forehead, dust along your chin. I never would have thought that this brush would do that. But it turns out it makes me very, first of all, how can you not be happy when you use this brush? Oh my God. Plus it's really soft. My problem was that when I started using this brush with this tiny little guy, I was like, this isn't working. This is like blotting powder randomly on the head of this brush. I realized that I needed to step up and get the full size. Look how major large that is. So this is the full size compact. This is the little guy by comparison. And this size compact now works really well with this size brush. Honestly, for the longest time, I always wondered why bronzers were so large in their packaging, and there are some other brands whose like bronzers are like this big, and you're just like, oh my gosh. And you know what? It's so that you can use an easily blendable large bristle head brush. So basically, even before it was out of product in the tinier size, I needed to buy the full size just so I could accommodate my brush. So that concludes my mini haul with tiny reviews. And so, any of you been shopping lately? What'd you get? I'd love to know. Share your shopping obsession with me. That would be exciting. Or have you tried any of these products, particularly that primer water? If you could give me some tips on how to use that, because I don't know, does it go on? Do you use a normal primer too? Does it go on before foundation? I would imagine it does because it's a primer, but I don't know, it's a water. Anyway, any comments, tips, or suggestions you have in reference to anything I mentioned today, I would also love to read those as well, so use that comment section below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to become a part of my channel, then I really hope that you would subscribe. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a really good rest of the day, and in the meantime, thanks.
It is one of the drier liquid lipsticks, but not take away all the saturation out of your lips. Drier lipsticks. Was that English? I don't even know what that was. Would look good on both your cheeks and your lips. And so I realized I needed to step up, and I had to get the full, oops, totally just knocked something off my desk. So, any of you been shopping? What'd you get? I would love to know. Give me a comment in the section, oh brother. Thank you so much for watching. Have a really great Have a great rest of the day. I did not just say that.